Instagram. Welcome on Instagram. Welcome on Twitter. Welcome on Facebook. Thank you so much for joining us today. It's session 2.6, and we are talking about making career decisions. Making career decisions is normally underestimated. It's as if it is easy to make career decisions. And of course, when you see people who are thriving in their careers, it looks like they never were faced with difficult decisions to make. But actually, each one of us who's in a career, a thriving career, has had to make very difficult decisions. And today, I want us to unpack that. Because you may be sitting there and you are faced with a decision and you're wondering, where do I go? How do I know it's right or wrong? The truth of the matter is that there is no right or wrong answer when it comes to career decisions. It's the answer that works for you. All right? I want to talk to you about how I made career decisions, and then I will invite the people who are ready to talk to us today. We're going to start with Dr. Carolyn Pule, who has made career decisions that are critical in her life. We're going to talk to her, and then thereafter, we're going to talk to Z Zulu. Z has just made a huge career decision. She's a CASA. She's currently in Dublin in corporate, international, and she decided to come into academia. And I want to talk to her about her decision to join academia, what are the things that she considered, and what she hopes to get out of this, right? And then we will end our conversation with Professor Hope Magidimisha. Hope is a professor of Town and Regional Planning at the University of KwaZulu-Natal. She's a mover and shaker. She holds the Saatchi Chair on inclusive housing, I think. And she's going to talk to us. I mean, she sort of is in this position that many academics wish for. Everyone wishes to have a chair. All right, we're going to ask her about the difficult, whether she had to make serious or big career decisions, how she made them, and how she's coping with them. That is important. But here's the point. If you want to ask questions, put them on the comment line. We will try to answer them. But of course, the best way to get your questions answered is to DM them. Send them by direct message through Twitter or Facebook, and we will make sure that we do not read your name when we read your questions. We've heard that some of you, your supervisors, are giving you a hard time saying, why are you asking questions to this professor on Sunday on Twitter? So that's fine. We will not say your name, but we will say what the question is, and we will respond to it. We can see you, everyone else from all universities. I can see Nelson Mandela University. I saw Sefako Makgatho University, CPUT, University of Pretoria, and Vets is always in the house. We haven't seen it today, but Rhodes University is in the house today. Welcome, Rhodes University. You're welcome. UJ is here. And as always, our connections from Namibia are here. And of course, we've got people from Cyprus, from India, and from Dublin, the UK, joining us as they always do. We're delighted to have you. UWC, yes, I don't want to ignore you. Now, here's the thing. One of the toughest decisions that I had to make in my career was a decision about accepting a job. I was still doing a PhD, and I got an offer for a job which in the corporate that was going to pay me more than double my salary. I was a student, struggling academic. I think at that time I was a senior tutor at Vets, building my career, and here, boom, I get a job to take up this position in corporate that was going to pay me more than double. And the temptation was huge. Do I go into corporate? Do I stay in academia? Am I ever going to make it in academia? With all the discourses that were going around that you'll never make it as a black person. And that was back in the mid-90s, right? That was the time that I had to pause and ask myself, why am I here? Why do I like academia? And here's the thing. If you ever have to make a career decision, you've got to think about the both offers that are given. I had to ask myself, why would I go to corporate? And why would I stay in academia? And I thought going to corporate, the job that I was going to do there was in corporate social investment. And I thought I will make a lot of money. And I will buy a nice car. And I will buy a nice house. That's cool, right? Then I thought, in academia, of course they will not pay me enough or as much as the corporate would pay me. But I thought, what am I getting? I thought, of course, I love research. I'm curious. I love teaching and engaging with students. So I want to stay here. But I thought, but what's the luxury of academia? Because I can see that the luxury there is money and it will get me something. But I thought, what's the luxury here? And that's when I figured the luxury of being an academic is pursuing questions that are of interest to you and of importance to society. I thought, wow, I want to make a contribution to society. And as an academic, I can pursue questions that are of interest to me. And because I'm curious, naturally, I see questions. When I see a problem, I want to find solutions. I thought this is the right place because with that, that curiosity and enthusiasm to pursue questions of interest to me, I can make a contribution to society. I thought, what a luxury it is to be an academic. If you pursue these questions well, you can go around the world telling people about these problems that you have explored and the solutions or the ideas that came out of them. And I thought, if you do it well, you even can get celebrated across the world for pursuing questions that are of interest to you, working with gifted students or passionate students who love this work that you're doing. And so I thought, I'm quite happy to forgo the money. And I thought, for now, I'll forgo the money and go for this passion. Because I thought, if I do this well enough, I'll be able to make the money that I want. Of course, this finding about what academia would offer me didn't come as a revelation whilst I'm sleeping. I talked to a few people. What is it that academics do? So if you're faced with a conundrum, a big decision to make, and you want to know whether you're in the... Ask people who are achieved in the field that you think you want to be in. And ask them so that you understand exactly what it's about, right? So I had to ask other people, what is it that you do? What impact does it make? Can it impact society? What if it doesn't work? Here's the thing. Every time you make a career decision, you have to ask yourself, what if it doesn't work? What are you going to do? What are you going to do? So think about the best that can happen. The best that could happen choosing academia was I was going to do this groundbreaking research, pursuing questions that are of interest to me and of importance to society. The world will want to know what I'm thinking even before I start writing it down, and they will invite me to talk about it, and I'll be honored for it. I'll be rewarded for it. But I also realized as I talk to people that the other thing that I'd get is that everyone wants to be associated with the winner. And people are looking for thinkers. And so there'll be other people who will ask you to come into their space to help them think through the work that they're doing. Because as an academic, that's what you do. You can unpack. You'll be up to date with the field, and you'll offer them critical feedback. If you're an academic, people know that you'll be able to give critical feedback. Then I thought, that's fine. Then people will buy my time to have me give them critical feedback. So be clear about why you want to do what you do. Okay, but also who you are and what your strengths are. I am a curious person, and so academia works for me. I love engaging with students, and so academia worked well for me. I love teaching. I'm not one of those people who say, I just want to do research, I don't care for teaching. I love teaching. As you can see, here I am doing it. Nobody's paying me, but I'm here. I'm doing it for me, not for my institution, because I love it. So be clear about why you want to do what you want to do so that you can do it with great passion. But also think about what if it doesn't work. Okay, if you come into academia and you want to be a professor, think about what if then you don't make it to professorship. Will you still be happy? All right? Will you still be happy? I thought I'd still be happy because I'd be doing this thing that I like. Of course, I said, I'm going to work so hard. I'm going to produce. I'm going to teach to my best that they will be ashamed if they don't promote me. That's what I thought. I thought, I don't care what kind of prejudices exist. Academia allows you to do work that your institution will have no choice but to promote you, because the world will tell them the groundbreaking work that you are doing. Right? So if you're planning to get into academia, just go in there, not as a 9-to-5 job, but as a career, and do it to the best of your ability, and your institution will see how the world takes on your work, and they will have no choice but to promote you, because they can't ignore you when the world recognizes you. I'm going to talk, as I said to you, I've invited 3 amazing women. This is the last Sunday of Women's Month, and I've invited 3 amazing women. Dr. Carolyn Puile, Z Zulu is a CASA, and Dr. Hope Magidimisha. I'm going to talk to them today about the big career decisions that they had to make. And we're going to take it there. I'm going to start with Carolyn. I hope Carolyn is on the line, and I'll be calling her now. Carolyn Pule, there she is. We're going to talk to her. She's amazing, inspirational to the T. You tell us on Facebook if the sound is not clear, so that we can take the volume up. On Twitter, please tell me if the sound is not clear. I know you say I don't look at you when I do this talk. I've tried to have the setup so well that I'm looking at you. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Caroline is joining us. Caroline, how are you? Caroline is still coming. We're talking about making career decisions. Caroline, good to see you.
Hello, everyone. I'm excited to be here to share my insight.
Fantastic. I love your shades, your glasses, and your lipstick.
Thank you.
On
yes,
point.
that's how we
on
do
point.
it.
On point. Now,
thank you.
Caroline, I want you to talk to us about 3 major career decisions that you had to make. But let's start with the first. Just tell me about, I want us to go through 3, just quickly. Let's see if we can do that. What's the biggest career decisions that you had to make?
Okay, so as you all know, I'm also in academia. So the first one, it had to be me deciding by saying no to a high-paying managerial position in order to pursue a position in research that could allow me to grow as a scientist. That was the one.
That's the one. You know, Caroline, that decision, I'm sure, is a big issue for many young academics.
Exactly.
Because you get asked to get into a managerial job, but you want a career in research within the academic space.
Yeah.
Why did you turn down the management job?
I looked at it and I realized that because I love doing research, I want to do groundbreaking research and make a difference because I did it with passion and purpose. Whereas if I was a manager, I would be managing people doing research. What if that would get to me? Because now I'll be the one that do everything for them to be able to pursue something that I loved. Whereas in research, I could grow with it and do better. And who knows, make money along the way.
You might even go back to management, perhaps, if you do well.
Exactly, but at that point, I would have even enjoyed myself. And at that point, I would be even more needed compared to before. So, I mean, if you look at it, you can have, if you have this opportunity to go out there and grow as a scientist, why not? And it's a tough decision. That's why we talk about passion. You need to be passionate about research to do this kind of decisions. Yes, definitely.
Great. You know, Caroline, that's such a big one. So here's the thing. If you love research, you're in academia, you love research, you get offered a management job, you've got to think, is this the time for you to go into management, or do you want to continue going with research? Carolyn chose to go with research and say no to the management job. And she says her big issue was, if you're in management, it's great. And I'm sure they were going to pay you more, right? Because that's how
right. It was crazy. That's why passion is important. I'm telling you, if you're chasing money, you will say yes. And then later you're like, oopsie, what have I done?
Yes. And so you may be paid more in a management position, but Karen felt that this is not the time to move into a management position. Because if you move into a management position, you haven't done much research, grown to the level that you want. When you're in management, you have to support people that you're managing there to succeed in research, but you haven't succeeded. And here's my thing, if you get into that space, but you haven't yet succeeded yourself, you might end up being a little bit jealous because you haven't really achieved that which you are supposed to help them to achieve.
So true.
Just imagine leading these researchers to be tops, and you haven't even gotten to the mid-level of it. You might just find yourself being jealous about that. So you might want to do what Carolyn is doing. But choosing research, Carolyn says, doesn't necessarily mean you might not go back to management. You might.
You might, definitely. So it's more like your growth, because it's also good to have mentors, because one of my mentors said, Caroline, you still have an opportunity to grow as a researcher. You're still young. Use this opportunity to build your brand, to build good research. And once you're there, then it will be easy. You will still go back, because if you go now, you're going to make your time short to grow as a researcher and try take risks and do your best as a researcher.
That's so
but you
powerful.
will get an opportunity to definitely go back at some point.
That's very powerful. That's so true. That's so true, because you're right. If you go too quick, then you haven't grown enough. But if you grow in research, you can still go around. I want you to tell me this. Is there another reason why, another big decision you have made in your career?
Definitely. I had to, say no to an environment which was not conducive to supporting me and making me feel good. And I went for an work environment, research environment that made me feel good, feel like I'm also loyal to them, and I felt like I can grow as a scientist. Very, very important. Yes.
Fantastic. Here's the thing. Carolyn is talking about environment. So you made a decision to choose a particular environment. At some stage in your career, you thought, I'm choosing to work in this environment because it's an environment that's good for me. And I see that I can be loyal to these people in this environment because this environment will be supportive of me.
Exactly. And I can grow because it was surrounded by people that I want to see myself as them, like, scientists, doctors, professors. And when you see this, it's an inspiration to you that you can also get there one day, because research is not easy. There are those days where you feel like, oopsie. But you need that motivation, definitely. Yeah.
So Carolyn says the second big decision she's made is to choose an environment where there are people, top people that she respects, that she feels she can be loyal to, working with, and be enthusiastic. I guess they would also inspire you, encourage you, even on those bad days that you say career is very, science can be very difficult, research can be difficult.
You can publish,
but if you're working with these people, then you'd be inspired, right?
Yes, I have a funny one. Like we got a publication done. We found out on Monday. Everybody was excited. I was on top of the world. On Thursday, one of my experiments didn't work. I was crying, and I'm like, what happened to the But then one of my supervisors, because she's known, she's like, I've been through this road. You can do it. It's like that. But that's what makes research fun. Yeah.
Yes. And also working with people that you respect, people who are positive about your career, who are willing to support you, because when you have those moments, then they can lift you up, especially in career, in research. There are many moments like that. So if you choose to go the research route, there'll be times when your paper is not accepted or whatever, and you need a lift with the team that you're working with. And that's great. This point reminds me of this. I mean, I always say to people, when you make a career decision, you choose one environment over the other. you actually choosing, when you work in a place, it's not only about what you do, it's who you work with and who you work
100%,
for that matters.
100%, 100%.
And a good example of this, ladies and gentlemen, is this. I'm sure you know the talk show host, those of you who watch TV will know about Jerry Springer show, and you'll know about Oprah Winfrey. They are both talk shows, right? But they are very different, okay? If you ask me, even though they are both talk shows, even if they made me an offer of the same job, even if Jerry Springer paid more, I would still choose Oprah, all right?
So true.
Because of what Jerry Springer show talks about and what Oprah talks about. The people that you work with and the people that you work for, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So, and note, by the way, if you're going to a university, if you're going to work in a university, you choose a university, there's also the department. There's a faculty, and then there's a department, and then there's the group that
department, very important.
Very different, very different. It can be a good university, but maybe the department, but it can be not so good university, but maybe the department is good. So do your homework, because you are choosing not only what you do, but also who you're going to do it with and who you work for. And Carolyn
100%.
paid attention to that.
Yes.
Third reason, do you have a third reason that you choose?
Yes, yes. Very, very important. As we know, like as a scientist, young scientists growing, it's important to grow, especially if you have a goal, if you want to see yourself as a professor one day. So the third decision I had to make was to choose an environment that would allow me to grow, to develop as a scientist, not shortening my opportunity. For instance, let it be, I had to study further, I had to go to conferences, meet other researchers, be in collaboration, because sometimes you might find an environment not allowing that, but I made sure that I get into that environment, and then you just do the work and the work does the talking. Exactly.
That's a good one. So you choose an environment that will be supportive of your career.
100%. That is important. Your vision. Your vision.
Is important. But if you don't know where you're going with your career, then how will you choose?
You need to have a vision. You need to know where you're going. It's so funny because all the time I had this 10-year plan. I want to see myself here, and in 5 years I want to see myself as this. In 8 years I want to see myself as this. And sometimes when you meet professors like you, sorry to say, you are the best. They ask you, they get amazed. They get amazed, like, wow, you had it all this figured out. You have a vision. You gotta have a vision in research, purpose. And for me, it was giving back through my work and ensuring that I'm also inspiring young girls to know that you can be a professor, you can be a doctor, you can change the world.
Absolutely. So exactly what we spoke about in our first session, that you have to have a plan, a vision, a plan, milestones that you want to achieve at particular times. Write them down. So when you get to make difficult career decisions, you go back to that plan, you go back to your milestones and say, if I take this offer, will I be able to achieve this milestone, right? So if you're going into a space that says you cannot study further, but you have a milestone that says PhD,
you need to study further.
Exactly. So it's not going to work. Don't think you can hide studying a PhD because you are in an environment that's not, you can't. You must ask them. If you go to an interview, ask them, because you have a plan, and say, I have a dream of doing a master's in this or a PhD in this. Will this environment, do you allow people to study further? So that you know what you're dealing with.
You need to know what you're getting yourself into before you get there, because things might go north instead of south, but you gotta be prepared and know what's your plan, and are they there to support you? Is it a mutual relationship? Yes.
Thank you, Carolyn. It's really, really good talking with you. There's someone who's asking a question. I would like to ask, how does one handle situations where your age is used to break or undermine? Let's see the question. Used to break or undermine you, I guess. I can't see the whole question. Do you have any answer to that? Have you ever had a situation where your age was used against you?
I know. So I think one of the things, like, I grew in my research field, like from my master's, when I was doing my master's, I was already flourishing. So sometimes my age was undermined because I had this big brains, but I was young. I had to literally like dress up formal, wear my glasses, and act like I'm a strong woman, powerful woman. But then one thing I learned, when that happens, what you need to do, you need to allow it not to affect you, but you need to make sure that you are bold, you are assertive, and you speak out. And if you're not happy about something, you need to talk to one of your superiors, tell them how you feel. But from your side, you just need to keep getting the work, doing the work, showing itself, and they will respect you. I used to even go for coffee with professors, like old professors, just because of that knowledge. Yeah, definitely.
Yes, absolutely. Carolyn, I agree with you. If you do the work, and I can tell you as a big professor, if I have a young person doing the work, it doesn't matter how old they are. I need them in the team. I need them in the team because they're doing the work. Everyone wants someone who does the work. It's a thing of the past that people said you are too young, you can't be in the team. So just be bold, be assertive, tell people nicely what's working, what's not working, and you'll see they'll want to work with you. Carolyn, it's been so nice working with you. I want to go on to speaking to Z. Thank you. I'm sure I'm going to get you back again and you'll tell us what's happened in your career. But thank you so much and keep rocking.
Bye.
Keep rocking, rocking, rocking.
Okay,
bye. Bye. That was Carolyn Pule. Carolyn is in academia. She's doing research. She chose to go the research route rather than the management route in academia because she loves research and she's got in her trajectory. She knows that she can always, after she's achieved in research, it will make it easier for her to go into management. But she also says she didn't want to choose management when she hasn't achieved much in research, because then she'll be managing people in research who have achieved much more than she has, and she loves research, and she doesn't want to get into a situation of being jealous of people or feeling like she can't support them enough or whatever. So make the right decisions for you. We're going to talk to Z. Z is very interesting. I'm asking to talk to Z. I met her recently, and I met her recently. Z, please ask for me to welcome you. I'm trying to multitask here. I met her recently, and I learned that she's a CASA. She's been working in corporate. She's now in Dublin. Zibuyile Zulu, she's here. She's working in Dublin in corporate after qualifying as a CA, and she chose to come to academia. And here's the thing, she chose to join UCT, so she'll be joining UCT soon. And I was so excited. I didn't hear it from UCT, I heard it elsewhere. From me. That Z will be joining UCT as an academic after working in corporate. Z, welcome.
Thank you so much.
To be in contact with you.
Thank you so much. Thanks for the platform.
So I want you to talk. Great. And people are going to tell me if they can't hear you, because I can hear you. So Twitter and Facebook colleagues, tell me if you can't hear her. But Z is an amazing, amazing woman who has made the right decision, I dare say, to come and join academia.
I'm sure I have.
And she has chosen the right place. She's chosen UCT. And she's been a CA. Tell me, when did you qualify as a CAZ?
I qualified as a CA at the end of 2017. So I've been qualified for 2.5, almost 3 years now, at the end of this year. So,
and you are international. You are in Dublin.
Yes, I'm in Dublin. So I work for one of the accounting firms this side in Dublin. So I work in accounting advisory. So I'm an accounting specialist. I'm an accounting expert, basically, on this side. I've been here since April of last year. So it's almost a year and a half. And
it is a big career decision to decide to leave corporate and go into academia.
Yes.
Why did you make that decision? How did it come about?
Okay, so as you've said, I've made the bold decision to say goodbye to corporate and jump right straight into academia. So how that came about for me is, so I studied at UJ, studied accounting, and then
Yeah.
to qualify as a chartered accountant. So
Mhm.
after my university studies, to be a chartered accountant, you are required to do a 3-year training, right? So I
Yes.
had the opportunity that the first year of my 3 years training, I could spend at a university setup. So I could
Yeah.
be, so I was at the University of Limpopo, that's where I went.
Yes.
And I spent basically the year interacting with students, lecturing, tutoring, mentoring. Yeah. So for me, it's that 1 year, the amount of impact I felt I had on
Oh,
the
wow.
students' lives, the interaction, just being able
Yeah.
to see students progress, their
Yeah.
attitudes changing, their marks changing, and just
Wow.
also myself, how much I started to really enjoy that space of being that role model, that space
Yeah.
of being in on that stage, and I
Wow.
guess adding value, creating change, creating more, because I know what education has done for me. I know
For
what being a
you.
chartered accountant, where it has taken me,
Yes.
you know. So I understood, and was
Yes.
for me that 1 year made me, basically it impacted all the decisions that would come thereafter. Yeah. So
Mm.
after I finished the 1 year at the university and I went then to corporate, at the back of my mind, I still had that feeling of there is a place where I belong. Like I believe I
Yeah.
have purpose, which is in academia.
This is amazing. I mean, first, I guess we have to say thank you to SAICA for making this possible, that a
Yes,
trainee accountant can actually spend 1 year in a university,
get
1 year of
exposure.
their training as accountants in academia, because that exposes you to the possibility of coming back to academia, of being an academic. And that
Very
1 year that you spent at the University of Limpopo sort of made you find something inside of you
yeah.
that connects. I mean, I like the fact that you realize that year the impact that you can make. I mean, obviously, as an accountant, you have impact, I don't know, on the books and so on and so forth. But here you saw you saw the impact that you can make on the students. And
Wonderful.
you saw just seeing the change in their performance and so on, that it left a mark on you. And even after 2 years of leaving that environment, you felt that you want to come back.
Exactly, exactly.
And it's that purpose. It's that purpose
Yes,
that's
that's
going
true.
to keep you going.
So for me, I'm a faith person. So I'm a great believer in being here on earth for a reason and God having or calling us for certain things. And for me, at that point, I felt like, well, this is what I've been called to do. This is what makes my life not just about myself, but rather to be able to fulfill a purpose, to be able to, I mean, come
That's
or take certain people along with me or take them to certain places. So for me,
that that's very powerful. That's powerful, Z. I mean, but tell me this. I mean, many young people say, but being a CA pays a lot. Now you are leaving that money to go into academia. I mean, should we ask that? You know, are you leaving money to go for your passion? What's the
well,
deal here, Z? What's the deal?
Um, like I said, and also like Dr. Pule also alluded, of course it comes with a certain sacrifice, but it's not like I will be untaken care of, if there's such a word. I'll still be taken care of, but
Yeah.
I guess there is no comparison. But for me, like I said, it's about the purpose. It's about the feeling that I will get from that being in that particular environment. And also one thing I've done preparing for
Mm.
this time, I've actually engaged with some of academics that are already, so chartered accountants that are
Ah,
in academia. So some that
in
have been
academia.
for a number of years, some that have moved between institutions. I even spoke to some that have gone to academia and then back to corporates. But the one thing I found interesting as well is that, so for me, my my reason, right, has been the teaching, because I enjoy the teaching. I like the teaching.
Yes.
But speaking
Yes.
to the other academics, I've realized that there are actually so many other things that they are a part of outside of the classroom, whether it's in
Yes.
sitting in certain board audit committees or
Yes.
boards, whether it's working with
Yes.
SAICA in terms of going around the different institutions for accreditation, so evaluating the training, the programs, whether they are like of a
Yes.
good quality, whether it's like the research that you were speaking about as well. So for me, speaking to academics that are there has had me even more excited. And
Yeah.
I mean, they're also able to sort of make extra money even from doing that. But it's not even about the money.
It's
For
not
me,
even about the money.
it's
Yeah.
about what will make me happy, what will make me sit and be at a good and a happy place.
Yeah, that's very powerful, because actually once you are in that happy place, you are making a contribution, you actually have reserve energy and time to do the other things that the environment will offer you. That's what people don't realize. You will have the extra time to make all that money that you want to make. So it's not so much about the money. That's not to say the money is not important. You will still be taken care of, you will still be paid enough, you know, but you get much more than the money, and that's key. And that's a key career decision making that many people are scared of making. So Z, have you considered, so I guess at this stage you are clear that a PhD is going to happen?
It's on the way. It's on the way. On the way, bro. On the way.
There's no way. It's got to happen. It's got to happen, right? The PhD is going to happen. It's going to happen. You thought about it, and have you thought about what if it goes wrong and you don't like it? Are you going to change an institution, or are you going to change? You're going to go back to a corporate?
Okay. So in answering you, so first of all, like I really, really have a strong conviction in this being my route. As a result, like everybody knows, even my current employer, from the moment I came on it, I told them that this is actually temporary. This is to prepare me for what is to come, which is to go into academia, right? And as I said, that I engaged with a lot of academics to sort of be as prepared as I can be in terms of what must I expect, and also in the institution that I'm going to, what is to be expected, and basically what could come before me, is to help me be as prepared as I can. So what if it doesn't work out? I'll probably try out all the institutions in South Africa first. And if all of them don't work out, I guess I can always go back to corporate, or that could be a push to go fully into entrepreneurship. I mean, I believe that.
Or go to another university overseas.
That
You know?
exactly.
I mean, you're already international. I mean,
Exactly. No one can stop us. We are unstoppable.
yeah. But I like your the way you phrasing this. I mean, you made a career decision based on what you feel deep inside is sort of your calling, something that you're meant to do to make a contribution with. And if it doesn't work, you might just leave
Somewhere else.
my university and go to another university. We're gonna work hard to keep you. We're gonna work hard to keep you. We're not interested in losing you. We're gonna try our hardest to keep you at UCT. But it's really, really good to have someone with your energy, with your perspective, with your value system choosing academia, Z. We need people like you in this business, and I'm glad that you chose UCT to be your first proper full-time academic job.
Right.
And I look forward
First jump.
to seeing you.
I'm
First
really
job in
excited.
academia.
I'm really excited also to be led by you, Prof. I mean, I mean, your leadership, your presence, your light, how bright and just yourself you are.
Thank you.
You know,
Thank
Zozibini, Miss Universe, said that like we see our faces reflected in yours. So I'm
thank you.
like this aspect of my life, I'm inspired by seeing that you are there and you are where you are. It allows me to dream bigger. It allows me to see that actually I belong. You know, even when I get there, I'll have that sense of this is where I belong. No one can tell me I don't belong or this is not my place, because I know you are there and you are flourishing in the position that you are in. So thank you. Thank you, Deputy.
Thank you, Z. Thank you. You're standing hard. It's painful. Okay, thank you. But so I look forward to welcoming you to UCT, and I want you to know that we are delighted that you chose us, and we look forward. I look forward to supporting you to succeed. We love to keep people like you at the university, and I hope we come back here at some stage and say, how is it going? Has that PhD started? Okay.
Yes. Very soon.
And thank you so much for what you're doing there. You know, as much as you say, I'm shining light, blah, 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 you are giving us a good name in Dublin. You know, everything that you do, they don't just see Z, they see Black African women. And so you do it well, we are doing it well. So thank you so much for being who you are and doing what you do. Thanks, Z.
Thank you, Deputy Mother. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. All right, that was Z. Z is joining academia from corporate. Isn't that phenomenal? Young Black African, South African woman has decided to come into academia. It's a good day, right? But I'm going to move on right now to talk to Professor Hope Magidimisa. Professor Magidimisa is not new to this platform. We've had her before, and I hope she's available, and she's getting ready to talk to me. She is a professor of town and regional planning at the University of KwaZulu-Natal, and she also holds a chair in inclusive, I think it's inclusive housing. I'll ask her again. But she is one of the most inspirational people I have ever met. I love working with her. She is from Limpopo, and she's got energy for days. And I don't see her on this platform. Hope, please join me on Instagram. I would like to talk to you as agreed. I know Hope was at a funeral, and she'll be joining us now. She's young. She's 35 years old. She's from up north in Limpopo, in Venda, in Limpopo, and she's now working all the way in KwaZulu-Natal. She's now the youngest SACHI chair, research chair in South Africa at 35 years old. She supervises postgraduate students in an amazing way. She does her own research. I'm going to talk to her also at some stage about book publishing, because she's also good with publishing books. But today I thought we should talk with her about making career decisions. She's in an area be recruited to work in government or in corporate, but she has chosen academia. And we want her to talk to us about the big career decisions that she has made. Hope is coming online. I found her. She's connecting, and we is here, and UKZN is on fire, and SMU Rhodes, welcome. Hope, are you there online? Okay, we lost Hope. She was there. We're gonna try again. She was almost there. Hope, try again. Let's try again, Hope. Let's see, Dr. Hope. Okay, she got cut. Hope, get onto your device, your phone or your tablet, and hook up so that I can get you online. You got cut there. I don't know if it's your network, but we're talking about making career decisions, and making career decisions. I want to make a few points whilst we're waiting for Hope. When you make career decisions, you always have to think about, when you've got two options or you don't know where to go, ask yourself, what will make my career be like in so many years? Remember that we did those things about the milestones. How will this choice that I am making right now affect my long-term goals? So you have to have your long-term goals. Don't worry about unemployment. We are not talking about jobs. We're talking about your career. So even if you're not in your dream job, it's the career that matters. What you're working towards is a career. So think about the career. And even if the job is not your career, it's a route to your career, to your dream career. So do the job with the idea of building a career. You should always think about, I'm here. What kind of new skills or the type of growth will this institution or this company or this university give me? All right. So think about those things. Is there room for development for me here? Because career decisions don't always have to be made like it's a take it or leave it kind of situation. Sometimes you need a little time to look at the broader picture and find alternative solutions. And that might be an alternative solution for now, right? That 3 years later, I'm going to have to move. So be clear about what your goals are and think about this. What am I doing this for? If you're making this choice, say, what am I making this choice for? Okay? Remember, it must be for yourself. The best decisions you make for yourself are the ones that keep your overall life goals in mind. You've got to keep your overall life goals in mind. Don't make decisions that serve you only in the short term. They've got to serve you in the long term. So what am I doing this for? Who am I doing this for, right? It's important to ask yourself, don't do something to please friends or just to get money so that you look like so and so and so and so, because it doesn't matter how much money you make now. There will be a time when you will say, I don't care about this money. I want to be happy. I want to feel whole. I want to feel like I'm making a contribution. So think about this. What am I doing this for? Who am I doing it for? So that you do not regret sometime later. I'm still waiting for Professor Hope. If she's on the line, I'm going to ask her to try to come online with me. But in the meantime, I'm going to keep giving you these tips, right? Think about, who am I doing this for? And then think also about, how will this choice change me? All right? How will the choice, the career choice that you are making, change you? Is there any chance that it will change who you are? Be honest with yourself. Okay? Be honest with yourself. How is it going to change you? All right? You make the decision, you have to live with it. So, what are you doing it for? Who are you doing it for? And how is it going to change you? And then also think about this. If it's a drastic decision, always think about, what if it goes wrong? So what are you going to do if this decision that looks great now goes bad? I had to make that decision one day. There was a time, let's see, Prof. Hope. I can't see Professor Hope. Let's see. Hope tried to ask me to welcome you. I can't see you on my request. Dr. Hope. I can't see you, Hope. I can see people say you are in the room, but I can't see you. Please try to click that button that says I must welcome you to a face-to-face video chat so that I can press it. Ah, there's Dr. Hope, Professor Hope. Aha. Let's see. Hope may be able to join us. So at some stage, I was making a decision to go into the NGO world. Many people don't know that my career didn't start in academia. I started my career as a teacher, as a school teacher. And then I went to become a subject advisor, working with mathematics teachers across the West Rand. Hope, keep it the noise low, Anyana, where you are. There's a bit of noise where you are. And then whilst I was a subject advisor, I decided, I remember the end of April 1994, after the elections, I decided to take up a position in the NGO world. to go and work in the NGO field. And people said it's a bad decision because funding is not sure, is not certain. And the NGO had given me only 18 months, an 18-month contract, because they were not sure whether they'll have a funding after 18 months. And there I was. I left a full-time permanent job in government to go into the NGO field because I wanted experience. All right, I wanted experience. And I sat down and I said, what am I doing this for? Who am I doing it for? What if it doesn't work? How is it going to change me? And I thought, how it's going to change me? It's going to help me understand the plight of farm school learners, because the NGO was working with farm schools and I was going to work with farm school teachers, mathematics teachers and learners. And I thought, I don't have the experience of working in farm schools. I know the experience of working in township schools, but I don't know farm schools. I went in there to learn and to grow, but I had to sit down and say, what if it doesn't work? What am I going to do? And I thought, if it doesn't work, I said, I'm going to start afresh. I will go back and teach. So that takes humility. If it doesn't work, what am I going to do? I'm going to go back and teach. And of course, once I was in the NGO world, I took another giant leap to go into academia. But I started with a contract job. And again, I said, what if it doesn't work? And by the way, in the NGO, they had offered me 18 months, but I ended up staying 6 years and learning a tremendous amount. What I know now, some of it was shaped by the 6 years I spent working in farms. I had chosen to work in farms. So you make choices and you should think about, how is it going to change you? What are you making it for? Who are you making it for? It made me grow. It made me learn. The experience that I have and the things that I'm able to do now are because, part of them are because of that time that I spent in the NGO world. Well, good to see you. Love your lipstick, girl. Love your lipstick. Good to see you. Thank you so much for joining me. I want to.
Thank you, Prof.
We don't have much time, but I can't miss this moment. I want you to talk to us about the one big career decision that you had to make in your career. I mean, you're a successful academic. What's the one big decision that you had to make?
Okay, thank you so much, Prof. One big decision, I would say, it's my passion. I followed my passion because I understand that with passion, it will keep you up at night. You will, it's very innovative. When you got a passion, you become very innovative. So you follow your passion, it will keep up at night. You will be very innovative, solution driven, and you don't easily give up. So, because when you follow up your passion, it's your dream. It's who you want to be. It's not what other people want you to be. So it does not matter what people think about you. I didn't care about what people think I can do and I cannot do, where I come from. But it was more like, this is what I want to do and I'm going to do it. And I'm going to put all my best in it. I'm going to put all my effort. And that's what I did. That was the best decision ever. Then I ran with the passion. So when you find your passion, you run with it. You will never fail. It will keep you up at night. If you are still sleeping at night, then you know your passion is not being activated. So stay up at night.
Great. So Hope, you had another option to take before you came into academia.
Yes.
And you decided to go into academia and not go into an, I mean, people like you are needed in government, you know, because of all these cities growing. Your chair is in inclusive cities, ne?
Yes, such a chair inclusive cities, yes.
Inclusive cities.
Yes.
And your kind of people are needed in government mostly, because that's where city planning happens. You know, municipalities, whatever, are always looking for people like you. So I can imagine it's possible that you were sought after in that environment. All right. Hope and I had been disturbed by network, so I can see she's frozen. Are you there, Hope? Yeah. Tell me about, were you ever pursued by municipalities, government, to work for them because your area is needed there?
Of course. I get that all the time, even now. But I've also realized that in academia, we are very few of us. And to me, it matters the decisions that are made in the municipality, they pass through the university. So I wanted to make changes on that sphere, that when you go out, I have to have captured you and able to influence the thinking. So to me, the influence was not at being at the municipality, but at the university, how you think, because very often we implement what we were taught. And I knew by going in academia, I'm actually going to influence most of the municipalities, because all my students, which I am going to teach, they're going to have that knowledge to the municipalities, rather than me going to one municipality and influence one municipality. So I'm all about change. So if I want to drive change, the best position for me was to go in academia, and I'm loving it.
That's an excellent perspective to have, because what Hope is saying is that she chose academia because you know that if you're in academia, you actually influence what the municipalities do. Actually, not just one municipality, many of them, because your students go everywhere.
Exactly.
So,
yeah.
So you want to be a change agent. So you're following your passion. Passion keeps you awake. It keeps you creative and innovative, but you are also making an impact through the students that you are teaching who go elsewhere. That's powerful.
Exactly. Because
yeah, go ahead.
No, my fear was to go into one municipalities and make sure that this municipality is performing very well. But what about the rest of the country? What about the rest of the municipalities? Therefore, I realized that no, the academy is the best way to go, and that's where I am.
That's excellent, because that's the same perspective that a teacher can take. Because if you're a teacher, you can take the perspective that you are actually educating leaders, not only for one country, one city, it's for broader society, so you can produce more of them. So in academia, you're doing the same. You're producing more town planners for many municipalities. Your stamp is everywhere. So if you do a good job there, they will do a good job elsewhere.
Exactly, because I've noticed that we are more of what our teachers taught us. So yeah, that's why I choose that role.
Yeah. So what do you say then, Hope, just in closing, to people who say, young people who say, no, but we need the money, academia doesn't pay?
You see, I see money everywhere, bro. I see money everywhere. This is me. So because you got a passion, I said passion is innovative. So when passion is innovative, it will tell you where to get money. It's a misconception that you have to do a certain degree to have money. And in any case, it matters what you're talking about, what is money and how much money you're talking about. But depending on how much money you want to make, every career, and I can tell you this, I know a lot of friends, a lot of colleagues who are making money in different degrees, is how innovative you become. Because if remember, you need to make sure that you position yourself in a way you are more outstanding. Right? When you are outstanding, you become in demand. When you're in demand, then everyone wants to pay for your service. So you have to make sure that you position yourself in a way that people that want to pay your service over and above, they should pay. So it's about passion. When you're doing a passion, it's easy. It's not painful. There's no effort because you're doing something that you love. It comes natural.
Yeah. Hope, thank you so much for an amazing perspective as always. Thank you for making the time. I'm sure we're going to connect. I already told them that when I talk about book publishing, I'm going to get you to come and join me again. So I look forward to chatting with you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Very much. Thank you very much. So there's Professor Hope Magidina. She never disappoints. She came on board and we raised the issue of money because people think it is only money that matters. But passion matters. You've got to love what you do. Here's the thing. You are not going to love everything about your job, all right? But a large percentage of your job must be enjoyable. At least 30% may be heavy, difficult, you struggle with it and so on, but at least 70%, you must love it, okay? If you choose a job only because of the money, you might end up miserable, right? You don't want to end up miserable. So what we've had from the people that we talked to today is passion is important. With passion and purpose, you can have success, right? But we also learned that it's important to look at, to know the institution that you're going to work with, the people that you're going to work with. Who are these people that you're going to work with? You want to choose an environment that can support you, environment that will be that will contribute to your career growth, all right? You don't want to be in an environment that will not contribute to your career growth. And you can't blame institutions that says, we don't support you for study, that's not our business. It's their business, so they choose not to support you, you can't force them. If you stay there, then keep looking for a place where your career will grow, all right? Remember, it is not only what you do that matters, it is also